Everybody knows about The Sims, right? The series developed by Maxis that's currently on its 4th game that released in 2014 and released so much DLC that it could cost around 600 USD to have it all. That Sims? Surely all the money EA made from these content packs will lead to The Sims 5's announcement sometime in the new 30s, but I digress. Besides The Sims, Maxis also released quite a lot of sim games over the years, including SimGolf, but I'm not talking about that one. The one I'm talking about was made by Firaxis, a company founded by Jeff Briggs, Brian Reynolds, and Sid Meier, who is well known for his Sid Meier's games like Sid Meier's Civilization and Sid Meier's Pirates. Sid Meier. Meier? Hold on.
Meier.
Meier. Okay. Released in 2002, the aptly titled Sid Meier's SimGolf, henceforth referred to as SimGolf, has you build and run your own golf course, complete with amenities such as a pro shop, tennis courts, hotel, and even vacation homes that celebrities can rent out for golfers to gawk at and sim to as they play through. Your primary objective is to build a golfing resort that would make even the most socially elite members of society clamor to be a part of, much like the proletariat fighting over cash thrown to the ground. SimGolf was one of my all-time favorite business simulation games growing up, partly thanks to Mario Golf, because Nintendo knew having Mario characters play in a golf game would serve as a gateway drug for people such as myself wanting to learn and play the sport. Now, I am by no means a seasoned player, but Mario Golf and SimGolf made me realize that golf is far more than just a rich person's game. With my love for SimGolf, I'm genuinely shocked at how little attention this game gets and how it hasn't had a release since 2002. Not even an expansion pack came out for this, and despite receiving a positive reception with an 84 aggregate score on Metacritic, it has seemingly fallen within the depths of obscurity. Hopefully this video will shed some light on the intuitive nature of SimGolf and give it some much needed love. As we load up the game, loungy golf music lulls us into a relaxed mood as the loading screen flashes inspirational course design quotes. Golf courses are playfields of infinite variety by Michael Herdzon. The spirit of golf is to dare a hazard, and by negotiating it, reap a reward by George Thomas. And Hey, that ball almost hit me by Abner on hole 17. After it loads, we see several options. Sandbox mode gives us free reign to build a golf course in any way we want to with no consequences. If you want to create a nightmare course that will anger and drive your sims away, then this mode is perfect. Themes let you select a pack that affects what characters, celebrities, pro golfers, stories, and courses appear. So, if you wanted to have Sims legends like Bob Newby and Mortimer Goth grace your course, it can be canon. Play a championship is exactly what it describes. Play a tournament on a championship course. Well, that is, if we had one. So of course, let's go ahead and make one. Start a new game lets us buy land and then build and budget a golf course from scratch. There are multiple difficulties to pick in each mode, from easy to impossible. Building a full course was something I often did as a child, but I did that on moderate difficulty, and to be honest, building a full 18-hole course wasn't all that hard. As a returning player, I wanted to up the ante, so to speak. While little me could never comprehend playing on impossible difficulty, surely it shouldn't be too hard to figure out as an adult. We are taken to a map with a selection of lots around the world. Certain locations include bonuses like pre-built amenities such as a putting green or hotel and certain landmarks. These bonuses can give you an early advantage, such as more happiness when golfers walk in. Depending on where you buy land, your theme will differ. There's the basic golf theme with pine trees and water towers, a desert theme with cacti and oil drills, a tropical theme with pastel colors, palm trees, and tame alligators that make you want to risk your life to pet them. Okay, I don't get it. Why is this gator so freaking cute? Please, come on, let me pet its belly! And my personal favorite theme, a medieval style with a castle architecture and bagpipes abound. The course selections can be refreshed as many times as desired until your preferred course is available. For this, I decided to go into it without refreshing. With 100,000 simoleons to shop with, I saw 60 acres of flat coastal links property in Scotland for only 70,000 simoleons, with a free castle. At 70,000, this was truly a bargain. And with a free castle, this would absolutely appeal to the influx of golfing enthusiasts and propel me to championship course. Dumb. Upon entry, we are greeted with a message. Welcome to Harold's Keep Golf Links. This ancient and venerable institution has fallen upon hard times. The sheep have returned to graze the pastoral fields whereupon kings and princes did ply the game of golf in days of yore. But all is not lost. With a tidy sum of money acquired by liquidating your late uncle's butterfly collection and a royal deed of grant from the local magistrate, you are ready to return Harold's Keep to its former preeminence in the world of golf. We start with our clubhouse, castle, and a lone golfer named Gary Golf who roams. This golfer is our character that we can customize their personality traits, appearance, skills, and even the quotes for certain situations. While this game shares many voice clips from the original Sims, we see the art style takes on a more realistic yet deformed look. The heads compared to the bodies are gigantic. It does let you upload a normal head, but I think that's a little judgmental. After all, does this not look normal to you? Or this one? How about this one? Normal, of course, is in quotation marks, so perhaps our concept of normal is different from theirs. Here I went with a blonde-bearded, middle-aged man who is a child. Now, who could possibly resist someone this cute and innocent? People will definitely sign up for a membership immediately when this kid greets them. As I evaluate the landscape, I check each angle to decipher where my first hole will tee off. Making a hole is as simple as placing a tee, a green, and pressing H. You don't even need fairways to open a hole. There are many hazards one can place, such as bunkers, deep rough, rocks, and trees. A part of the challenge is making a hole that is easy, yet looks challenging to golfers. Golfers love nothing more than making a difficult-looking shot on a fairway or green. Besides hazards, the elevation can be changed to provide more depth to your holes. For hole 1, I made a par 3 hole that's 190 yards. Once hole 1 is opened, people start showing up to play. Gary Golf greets golfers as they come in, that starts them off on the right foot. I quickly set up hole 2, which is also a par 3 at 125 yards. Initially, reception from players was very positive, with Snoop quipping, "This is the best course I've ever played," and Kingsley saying, "This course is quite nice." Off to a good start. With how easy it was for me to advance my course on moderate difficulty, I quickly found these golfers to be more temperamental than I thought. Most of the time, they would land in a hazard like a bunker and would say things like, "Great, now I'm in the sand trap." They might also say things like how a hole is too easy and that an object looks ugly, which can ruin their moods. This wouldn't be so bad, but on impossible, for any complaint they have, their golfing partner shoots them down by saying things like, "Talk to the hand," or "Stop whining," which in turn negatively affects their moods. While getting frustrated with someone else about complaining isn't all that uncommon, it's especially frustrating with indestructible objects like radio antennas and water towers that all golfers hate. They will not pass up an opportunity to hate on these structures, and their golfing partner will get annoyed with them even though they hate it too. Actually, you know what? That's how I am. In fact, whenever I'm with my friend and we both hate how something looks, instead of agreeing, my response is to tell them to stop whining and get irrationally angry myself, because that's just the kind of jerk I am. And that's how these golfers are. It didn't take long for the wheels to fall off and the negative comments to snowball to where everyone rage quit and left. Soon I see that Larry left the course in disgust. Larry's disgust then freaks out other guests, which in turn causes them to freak out and leave. Then I learned that Harry had punched out another golfer out on hole 3. Good lord, these guys have no chill. Then dandelions started growing on my course, which also upset the guests. I hire a groundskeeper to take care of the dandelions and a ranger to deal with unruly folks. It didn't take long before the fees started adding up. Naturally, the less fun your players are having, the less you profit. When golfers finish a hole, they pay a green fee. The more they like your course, the more money you'll get. Hey, build those greens and get greens, am I right? Okay, I'll stop. During play, you'll see golfers make positive remarks about things like the variety, design of your holes, and when they make hard-looking shots. This contributes to the fun factor that helps golfers enjoy your course more. You can click on each hole's green to see the percentage of comments to evaluate how you should improve your hole. One constant complaint I kept getting was that my holes were too easy. These negative comments made their fun and attitude tank. With the constant chain reaction of complaints, soon I had a row of red faces and multiple groups storming out. And it wasn't long before I went into the red and my fun rating was in the negatives. I had no money to make any improvements, but I did have a connection. The internet. I looked up my old buddy, IGN, who helped me get an extra 100,000 simoleons. With this stimulus, now we could really get cooking. Since everyone complained how easy hole 2 was, I attempted to make it more challenging by adding pot bunkers and deep rough around the green. I'm sure these skilled golfers that make great decisions when playing can work around this. By then, we only had 2 people giving our course a chance. With my new and improved hole 2, Trudy was intrigued with her decisions. Then she shoots towards hole 1's green and chips in, says she got an eagle and that hole 2 is still too easy. And she is a teacher. Trudy. You're supposed to be a teacher, what the f— With only Trudy and JW playing, JW's frustrations overtakes him to where he rage quits. He asks, "You want a piece of me?" It was at this point I thought JW needed a timeout. So I took him and tried to find him a secluded spot for him to calm down. I put him on a nearby island with rocks. I figured that maybe the solitude and the firmness of the pebbles will massage his hot, sweaty feet and make him feel better. No, instead he just got so mad that he gained the power to walk on water and get back to the mainland. At this point, I just booted him. Despite the extra fish, it appears that this course is dead in the water. With no more than 2 to 4 golfers at a time, I deemed this course a failed experiment and shut it down. However, with another fortunate inheritance, I purchased 50 acres of land in the most exotic of places, Florida. With a free pro shop, this may give my golfers a better chance at making hard shots and increasing that all-important fun rating. With this course, I decided to take it hole by hole. All the comments were positive and the fun rating was healthy, I then built the next. Development was slow, but sure, as I carefully monitored each golfer's mood and hired weedmen, greeters, security, and drink vendors as needed to save money. After some progress, a pro golfer challenges my childish avatar to a game, and I accept and distribute an amount of skill points. Doing these challenges is the sports management aspect of the game and lets you participate in matches and tournaments for extra prize money for every time you win. The better the shots and games your pro golfer makes, the more skill points earned to where you can turn your pro golfer into a golfing god or goddess. The only downside is it sidelines your local pro golfer who can do everything the other 4 employee types can do for free, and that is deal with weeds, rush golfers, greet players, and serve drinks. While my child golfer humiliated a golfer or 2, it was hard and stressful when he was playing while my course was bustling. It was a constant balancing act of making sure my security was in places problem golfers would be, and having greeters in spots where my golfers fun tanked to improve their moods a bit. You really could not get ahead of yourself in this mode. I did have assistance from one landmark, the mighty watermill. The watermill can be placed in areas that will distract players from their complaints and make them forget what they were so upset about. This was exceedingly important for holes that were poorly designed or hard fixes. After some development, the SGA expressed interest in holding a tournament, which I gladly accepted and participated in, with the top prize being 100,000 simoleons. However, the cost of running the tournament without revenue proved high, but I at least got that achievement. Achievements track your milestones throughout your career, such as your first par 5 hole and your first match win. A checklist shows what to do next, and achieving these milestones is a great way to track your progress while you build. As you build, members who love your course will become silver members, and you can place vacation homes in your course. A big benefit is that they give you a certain amount of money depending on where you place the home. The only thing is that golfers hate looking at these homes. For some reason, the idea of a house being in sight ruins the experience for them. That is until a celebrity moves in, then they love the house. Anywho, as I see golfers unsatisfied with hole 5, I'm still wondering why golfers weren't having fun between holes 2 and 3. I decided to roll back the course and get rid of holes 4 and 5, and looked into the problem area while focusing on improving the current holes. After some observation on hole 2, it turned out their fun tanked when they made par. So, I shortened hole 2 so that it was more possible for them to get a birdie. One golfer shot a birdie, but his fun still went down. I think it's because the hole is too easy depending on the golfer. When you make a hole, it gets characterized based on certain traits. For example, a par 3 hole may be categorized as a breather hole, which may be ideal if you have golfers go through a few challenging holes beforehand. I'd wager that the distribution of different types of holes ultimately affects the overall zen of your course. It was at this point I concluded that making a hole 18 hole golf course on Impossible was going to take a lot of time and workshopping. And to be honest, I got as far as 5 holes before I threw in the towel. Impossible difficulty required having such a delicate balance of care, and letting so much as one golfer rage quit could sink you so hard with a splashback. I may have to revisit Impossible SimGolf one day and go back into the lab, because I'm not totally convinced that I can't do it. One thing I feel I should mention is the longer you play, the more likely bugs will appear. I've seen graphical errors, like back elements overlapping front elements and buildings disappearing. Certain monuments won't work if they're off-screen, so if you expand your course, you may have to play zoomed out if you strategically placed your happiness monuments in problematic areas of your course. On more built-up courses, the game also crashed on me several times. Sadly, this game is pretty buggy, and it is really unfortunate that a patch was never released to fix these issues. Still, it doesn't change the fact that Sid Meier's SimGolf still holds up beautifully to this day. The gorgeous visuals and colors create an immersive experience that draws the player in. Getting started is as easy as placing your first tee in green, opening the hole, and watching people play it. One thing about simulation games is that having a detailed tutorial is a necessity in most cases, but with SimGolf, I dare say that one could start playing without a tutorial, although the game does give you tips on how to get started. For this reason, I cannot recommend checking this out enough. Now, if only someone at EA watches this video and listens to my plea for a sequel of this extremely niche golfing simulator. So, EA, come on. SimGolf 2. Please?
Who's a cute little gay toe? You are, yes you are.